Hello, welcome to the News Super Review here on Tab TV. We are coming to you live from the city of Port Harcourt here in River State, Nigeria. So wherever you're watching this from, you are very much welcome to the program. Do well to be a part of this by subscribing to this channel. First, click on your subscribe button and of course your notification, because that will help you get notified whenever we come up with a new episode of the program. This program brings you headlines across newspapers and we get to analyze them here on the program. You can also drop your comments and your reactions on these headlines on the comment section. We'd love to hear what you think about these headlines. To do the headlines with me is Victor Sioko. You are welcome once more.
Thank you, sir. Yes. How are you doing?
I'm all right. Hope you had a good weekend, though.
Cool.
It's a Monday and it's a new week. We're all starting it off. My weekend was I had this shocker when Manchester lost their match to that plenty goals from Liverpool. I never for once thought that they could lose in that light, so that was like the big shock of my weekend. But aside that, it was generally calm here and there. But then this coming weekend, this coming weekend is election again, and this time around it is the gubernatorial elections in different states across Nigeria. In most of the states across Nigeria, a few states will not be having theirs because the dates of the elections will come later on. But of course, here in River State, we're going to be having that election, and many other states around the country. So do well to come out to cast your vote again. We know that because of the results of the last election and the way it all went, there's been a lot of people saying, I'm not coming out again if my votes will not count, if INEC will not respect voters and the wishes of Nigerians. Why should I come out and all of that? Please, I don't expect anybody to hold back despite the challenges on ground. All of that is being looked into at this time. So please do come out. If it is safe and secure, your life is not under threat, please come out and vote on Saturday, the 11th of March, 2023, because you'll be choosing your state leaders. And for me, that is very critical. All right. So do well to come out. All right, let's go into the papers for today, the 6th of March, 2023. All right, we're going into the papers right now, and let's look at this day newspaper for today, the 6th of March, 2023. And as headline here, we see $176 billion revenue at risk as Huawei moves to sue federal government in London over $304 million e-customs project. All right, do well to pick up this day to read up that story. Other headlines here, we see, I won't disappoint Nigerians, President-elect Tinubu assures all. Page 47 is where you get details of that paper. Moving on, we see Atiku, Yakubu's promise of credible Guba poll medicine after death. We're still consulting, searching for legal team, says PDP campaign to file petition after inspection of election materials. Commences protest in Abuja over presidential election. That protest is going on right now, and we wonder what the PDP hopes to get out of that protest, despite the fact that they have also dragged INEC and the whole process to court. All right, so but then they're having that protest in Abuja at this time. All right, let's go on with other headlines here on this day. We see race for Senate President in 10th National Assembly kicks off. Lawan, Kalu, Jibrin, Akpabio, Oshomole, Yari, Omahi, I-top job. APC moves to avoid Muslim leadership. All right, that's a very interesting way to put it. But then you find that story on page 8 of this day newspaper. So do well to pick up a copy and get the full story of that headline. All right, Victor, what would you say to the headline concerning the race, the beginning of the race for the leadership of the 10th Assembly? I mean, they just announced these winners a few days ago, and right now consultations and politicking to get to the number 4th seat is already on. What's your reaction to that story?
The nicest thing about this news is that they still have from now till June to decide. Mind you, by June, that is when we will have the 10th assembly. Okay, why am I saying this? Because
the inauguration of the 10th
assembly. Yes. So by the time from now till May 29, we should be very sure of these candidates, because I bet you some persons are not going to finish up the race till May the 29th, because they might just lose their seats. Okay, I know Nigerians, we are not at this point, we are really down with respect to our court system. We do not believe them, but I think they know that they have the lives of Nigerians on the palms of their hands. Okay, and I pray and believe that the court, majority of our judges this time around, will come through for equity and fairness. Okay, now these candidates, should I even start mentioning about the 9th assembly, how they performed? Yeah, so for the 9th assembly, I think we have to talk about the 9th assembly before the 10th assembly, because we need to also see how the leaders has worked over time. Yes, we might not have all the whole time right now to talk about it, but I think just in a short while, we need to say the good part of the 9th assembly and the bad part before we start talking about the leadership. Now, for the good part of the 9th assembly, we should not be overcarried away that they did not put in energy with respect to the Electoral Act. Yeah. Okay. Yes, one might say that they shot themselves by the foot, because many of them did not make it back, and many will still lose, in quote, their stolen mandate. I need to put it that way, because we know what happened in many places. Somebody like Ahmad Lawan, that is predicted to be coming back for the 10th assembly to become the Senate president. We saw how he managed his way through. So, and he even mentioned that this is the will of God. But let us not also talk about the will of God and all that, okay?
Yeah.
We know that in the eyes of fairness and equity, he is not supposed to be there. See, in his case, we don't have all that time, but in his case, we did not even need a judge to prove that he faulted with the Electoral Act that he assented, that he put his hammer on. Okay, now that is the good part of the 9th assembly. Now for the negative side of the 9th assembly, see, Mr. Will, I never saw them go hard on the executive.
Yes, I totally agree.
I never saw them go hard. They were more like a rubber stamp.
Very much so. Same word I would have used to describe them. Yeah.
Assembly.
Yeah.
Remember when we were analyzing when they made a pronouncement that they were going to impeach the president. Remember what I told you? These guys are just making noise. Yeah. And at the end of the day, we did not even hear any follow-up with that. And they even set up a committee. And that committee, you know, now they will do a budget on the committee. Oh man, that is not what we are talking about now. Okay, now to the predictions. This day headline has stated that. Where do I start from? Okay, let me start with Ahmed Lawan. Ahmed Lawan, I don't think he should be returned as the Senate president. See, if they are fair, they should know that his person has some degree of grayness in his being because of the way he actualized his mandate. Okay, there are many faults around him, and let's also not forget that he also had an initial fight with Ahmed Bola Tinubu, so that might just not work for him. Okay, aside that, he is a northerner. Aside that, he is a Muslim. Are we going to now have a Muslim president, a Muslim VP, and a Muslim Senate president? That would be too much, but the APC has shown us that
it doesn't matter.
Yes,
it doesn't matter as far as, according to them, you have capable hands in place. But then that brings the whole call or the whole personalities down to, there's Oshomole, there's Kalu of Abia State, and of course we have Akpabio there. These guys are Christians and they are also Southerners. So does it now fall back to any of these guys? Do you see it going to any of these guys?
For Oshomole is a starter.
He's a fighter.
Yeah. He's a fighter, no two ways about that. He was two-time governor, APC chairman. So he has the leadership experience. Let me keep it at experience, okay? Let me not say about capacity, but he has leadership experience. No two ways about it. And you can't take it away from him. That aside, I don't see him. He's a first timer, okay? So I don't see him there. Jibrin for me, he's not a powerhouse. Although Ahmad just got in there without being a known figure, okay?
And he worked his way through.
He worked his way through. But Jibrin will also bring the point that I made: a Muslim, okay? And then we'll now talk about, before I get to Orji Zakari, we'll talk about Akpabio. Yes, Akpabio should fit in since he's from the south. And not just the south, from the south. And with the look of things, south might just be left empty. Okay? But in another view, you might say that, okay, the way Akpabio made his way in, we didn't really consider him. Okay? That aside, then to Orji Zakari. For me, I think Orji Zakari might just be the preferred candidate right here. Reason, he went all out for Tinubu. When I mean he went real out for Tinubu. Secondly, he's from the southeast. Mind you, what might just face Nigeria as a nation, as a federation, is that if by the 29th of May that the president-elect is being transferred to become the president, the southeast will feel agitated for the next 4 months. So the question is, that's the APC, will they be like, okay, let us give it to the southeast so that they can have some elements of peace and they can be able to drink their water? So I'm looking at, from that side, Orji Zakari might just be the person. It could have been somebody like Abaribe, but Abaribe left the party. So as he stands, Orji Zakari is very experienced, okay, and he knows how to go around things. Oh, come on. He is a politician.
Yeah, okay. Well, but then is that also going to, is that supposed to be the way it should be, where, you know, the Senate president, also from the APC, and also like a serious supporter of the president, is that not going to make it look like, okay, it's going to be like some kind of toy or a push lapdog for the president as a Senate leader?
Oh, sure, but they will want everything to go easy for them. That is Nigeria. They will never want any form of opposition or mountain to be on their way. So they will just try to choose somebody that they can work with. Okay? Right. So remember, back in the days, during the time of Senator Bukola Saraki, when he was the Senate president, you saw the fight. There was so much infighting happening. In fact, it was just too exposed. Remember the time that the Senate building was closed, shut down, the National Assembly. Okay, so they wouldn't want something like this to occur in the 10th Assembly.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what other papers are saying as regards the headlines there. And we're going to be moving to Daily Independent newspaper. And on Daily Independent here, we have as headline, Rivers APC crisis escalates ahead of Guba State Assembly polls. PCC sacks Amaechi as leader, alleges he voted Atiku on February 25th. We also see here, my life under threat, says Rivers presidential election collation officer. All right, other headlines here on the Daily Independent says, old Naira notes, pressure mounts on CBN to obey Supreme Court's ruling. Banks expect Apex Bank's directive today. All right, we see also bandits kill DPO, Sergeant Vigilante abduct women in Zamfara. Page 7 is where you will see the details. Atiku berates INEC chairman on promise for credible governorship polls. Describes it as medicine after death. Page 6 is where the details is. We also see here, airlines lose 10 billion naira as passenger traffic drops over elections. All right, so that's all the headline we'll be taking on Daily Independent. So do well to grab a copy of that paper and read up details of those stories. But I'd like to come to Rivers APC. We're just few days to the election, the governorship election here in Rivers State, and yet we see issues like this, cropping up. Like, Rivers, them sacking Amaechi as leader, and somebody else, claiming to be the new leader. That's the former SSG. That's chief of staff. Former chief of staff. That's Tony Okocha, saying that he is the new leader, and then the Minister of Transportation, former Minister of Transportation, voted for Atiku. How is it possible that he has all of this information? And from what we hear, the party, some members of the party have come out to say that Tony Okocha was never a member of the APC. Talk more of him being, the new leader of the party here in Rivers State. So much has been said between these people and members of the party. What do you say to all of this?
Okay, I think let me start from Rotimi Amaechi. Okay, let's also not forget that he came second during the primaries, and that second position for me was very, very shocking. When you have the giants like Yemi Osibanjo there, and yes, we had somebody like Pabio who let us stepped aside. Okay, but yes, he came second position, and he did not show any sign of working together with Bola. He did not show major signs of working together with Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Not until when the president went for the first time that he went for the campaign in that Jigawa, but one of those northern states, that Amaechi, he now came up to the news that Amaechi was among the team that campaigned with Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But after that, everything now subsided. We did not hear from him. He did not make any strong pronouncement of support, which one might be like, is it that he was, for me, I think he was shying away from the media. Somebody like Amaechi, if you wanted to talk to the media houses will open up their doors for him, because we know how tough, how strong, how influential he is.
It's a very
not just in Rivers State,
yeah,
but in Nigeria. So I think he did not work enough for him to reap the benefits that might just come from Ahmed Bola Tinubu. So what is happening now, I am not surprised about it. I'm really not surprised about it. Okay, look at even his man, Toye Ko. When have you seen Amaechi come out to even push him forward? Okay, but even when Tinubu came to his state, Amaechi was not present. It was Dakuku Peter side that was there, and Toye Ko. So when you get all this information, you find that you'll be like, come on, it's just showing that he is not part of the party as far as I'm concerned. You cannot be that top man. You came second during the primaries. Second position. Do you know that the power that it will take you to become second position? And for me, I think he did not utilize it. Maybe because he never wanted to be part of the PCC of Ahmed Bola Tinubu. So what is happening now, like I said again, I am not surprised. What I'm even expecting, the more damages I'm expecting of the APC is when the election is over and Wike now wants to take charge as both a PDP. I don't know how he wants to do it. But from the look of it, you might just notice that he might just want to move everybody to the APC. But let's look out for what the electoral act might do about it, because there's an electoral act over all these matters at the same time. Are they now going to, will I say, give karate to these judges? What do they want to do with these judges at the end of the day, when they are moving with all manner of impunity and so much courage that they will thwart the electoral act?
Well, they've been trying all their best to manipulate the justice system to favor them, and that's what we've been seeing before and after these elections. As for Amaechi, though, I wonder where the allegations are coming from that he is voting for the PDP. To what end, if you want to analyze that, if you want to critically look at it, to what end? Just to spite Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Amaechi has just one vote, and to how much effect would his one vote, cause or change? So, and to also to think that Rivers State could not deliver Atiku, as in the votes from Rivers State for the PDP was really very insignificant. So why these allegations towards him? for me, I just feel that it might just be a battle between Amaechi and or maybe Tony Okocha trying to gain relevance. But then it's not my place to say. We're watching how all of this plays out because it's just days leading up to the election. There's also been stories that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not supporting Tonye Cole, that he snubbed him when Tonye went to visit him in Lagos and all of that. We saw the video. I don't even know what to make up of the video, but make out of the video. But well, I saw the video how Bola Ahmed walked past him to shake hands with other, dignitaries and governors that were there and didn't go back to say hello to him. So there are a lot of, mysteries surrounding the APC's activities at this time. But all we're just going to do is watch and see the outcome of all of this. We don't have total answers to all of them, but we're going to be watching. The elections is on Saturday. Rivers people are, gearing up to vote. Some of them that I spoke to will tell you, oh, we've been betrayed by Wike. We thought we were going to give our votes to Wike and Sim so that they can consolidate his government and everything. But why would he treat us this way? Why would he do this to us and all of that? So there are a set of people like that. They are the ones that are also saying we are going to go all out and vote for the PDP despite Wike's alleged crimes and misbehavior. All right, so let's leave that story and go into our last paper for the day. But before that, let's take a short break. Once we come back, we'll get into our last paper for the day.
Hey there, are you looking to record your videos, do your voiceovers and take your professional pictures? Look no further. With our state-of-the-art newsroom, photography, kitchen for our food content creators and exclusive children's studio, we certainly can deliver the best studio experience. Our carefully designed studio space can bring your diverse creative content ideas to life. We aim to consistently serve value to our customers far and wide. Come, let Tharv Media give life to your dreams. Tharv Media, a slice of infotainment.
All right, you're welcome back from that break. We're still here on the Newspaper Review, and if you're just joining us, you are in the right place. Do well to subscribe to this channel so you don't get to miss the beginning part again. All right, so let's take our headlines. Our last paper is Nigerian News Direct, and on Nigerian News Direct here we see as headline: IMF warns CBN orders over rising inflation. We also see Naira redesign, Buhari CBN keep mum over Supreme Court verdict. CPPE Lord's Supreme Court ruling on old currency notes validity. Oyo Ogun Lagos planning to light up Lagos Ibadan Expressway. Makinde. Nosdra investigating explosion at Shell's asset in Rivers State. And lastly, I'll take this one. Ogunguba, Senator Buruji, loyalist and mushroom supporters, others endorse Abiodun for second term. Withdraw illegal arms from PDP political thugs in Osun, APC tells NSA IGP. That's all the headline will be taken on Nigerian News Direct. So, Victor, let's go to Nigeria, the Naira redesign. That matter is still on and raging. This time around, we all know what the Supreme Court ruled and said, let this money still be in circulation, still being used till the end of this year. But the federal government, that is the presidency, and the CBN has kept mum on this matter. And that is creating a lot of confusion in both the general public, the handlers of these monies, and the banks, and of course, business owners. They don't know which way to go. Should we go ahead and accept the old money? Should we go ahead and transact business with the old money? Or when we do that, are we going to, lose our money because we will not have where to finally deposit this money? Yet the CBN has refused to make any commentaries or statements as regards the court ruling. What do you say to all of this? How do you react?
Man, it's been really tough. It's been really tough on Nigerians right now. Okay, before I get into details, just recently I needed to buy something with cash. It was just too difficult. But at the end of the day, I had to go to a POS. If I'm not even, I won't call it a POS service place. It is, although everybody that has the POS in Nigeria now is using it for business. Be you a big shop, be you a small shop, be you fuel station. Everybody is now doing business out of this naira scarcity. So just to withdraw 1,000 naira, these people collected 300 naira.
Yeah, that's how bad it is now. And then I don't even know whether after the president came to say we are recycling the 200 naira notes back into the society, whether that even made the scarcity of the money even more intense. Because after that pronouncement till today, the scarcity got worse. As far as in my own assessment, it got worse. Before that, we were able to, get you at least on your street, you'll be able to see one person that has cash to give to you. Now, the entire street is dry. Nobody has money. And it has been like that for weeks. In the last 3 weeks, I don't think I've held one single Nigerian note, whether 50 naira, whether 100 naira or 200 or whatever. I haven't held any. And it's really tough out there. So now that the Supreme Court is saying, all right, let's have all the monies back in circulation, I wonder what will be the case. I wonder how whether the CBN will not tell us that they have burnt all the old notes, so we don't have anything to put back into the society.
So I also think that we are our own problem in this country. Okay, reason why would a shop that people come with either naira or card now sell money to me for 30% profit margin? What do you have in that your shop that you are selling 30% profit margin? Why will you be selling naira that somebody came to pay? Oh, come on. What devilish act is this?
It's painful.
You do not, even those commodities you have, I'm sure that you go to bigger shops or bigger suppliers or warehouses and you can do transfer. Yeah. Why would you be charging 30% to sell money? Because that is what it has turned to. What?
The greed is something else. And Nigerians are fond of doing this, where every time there's a challenge of this sort, every time there's some kind of matter, whether economic or whatever, people take advantage of it and want to just defraud others. And then these monies they make is not even big sums. But of course they just shall take advantage. Once there's fuel scarcity, you see some people enriching themselves from it. Once there is anything scarce, they take advantage of it, and they want to do one thing or the other to frustrate other Nigerians, and it's really unfortunate. And that's what we're experiencing as regards the money redesign. But we expect, I'm really hoping that the federal government or the CBN governor should come out and make a statement as regards the Supreme Court ruling, because their silence is not saying much. It's almost like it's leaving the Nigerians to decide what they want. If you want to use the old note, use it, but it is at your own risk. If they were able to come out and make statements as regards, stopping the circulation of these monies, even the president came out to say, okay, I've heard the cry of Nigerians, it's been tough, okay, let's bring back the 200 naira notes. And then this was while, the court adjourned the case. And then they've gone back to it, and then this is their ruling, and they say it will last till 31st of this year. I just feel the president should come out. I was talking with someone, and the person was saying, oh, maybe he's still getting ready, he's still, analyzing what the Supreme Court has done. He will eventually come out to talk to us. But while we are waiting for his speech, everybody should just go about spending only the new naira note if you can get a hold of it. Forget about the old note until the CBN comes to make a statement, or the president. Then the question in my head was like, is it that this CBN and of course the president too is more powerful than the Supreme Court's judgment? The Supreme Court is the highest court in the land, and if they have made a pronouncement, a judgment has been passed, does the president have that much power to ignore it? Isn't that also starting a dangerous precedent? Is that not beginning something that they cannot really handle? Because, nobody's above the law. That's why the law is there as some kind of control, check and balance for everybody, for all the government around the world. But if a president is beginning to disobey, because this will be the second time he's beginning to come out and make the pronouncement of the Supreme Court look irrelevant, and that for me is something that should not continue, and they should really deal with. Well, that's my take on that matter, though. And that's where we're going to draw the curtain today. I want to thank you, Victor, for coming, and all our viewers. Thank you so much for staying with us up to this time here on the Newspaper Review. Until next time we come your way again, make sure you go out to vote on Saturday, the 11th of March. Get out there with your PVC and vote your conscience. But also, as you're going out, make sure you're safe. If it's not safe for you, please remain indoors. All right, from here in our studios in River State, Port Harcourt. See you next time. My name is Williams Abule.